turn up the AC. Hot takes.
Lights, camera, and action is large. Eagles get flattened. The lord to this debate, boy, I hate and get irate. We rate and irritate. Your game is on my plate. The fans anticipate. Of course, we give them great.
Gonna turn up the AC. Got the temperature raising. The latest, hottest takes. No bias for ratings. We coming with straight heat. That's why it's amazing. Go ahead and share the link if you feeling what they think.
Pulling daggers like KD. Launching missiles like Brady. Hot takes on the daily. Outcome is amazing.
Only kick with the IC. Analytics unlikely. No matter what they speak, hot takes turn up AC.
What a fight we got the other night, man. Errol Spence, Sean Porter definitely delivered. Fight of the year, in my opinion, as of right now, it's the fight of the year. Very entertaining fight, very close fight. Could have went either way. I see a lot of people talking about how Porter was robbed. Let's stop that before we get any further in this video. There was no robbery in this fight. Yes, it was extremely close. And as we talked about in the preview to the fight, Sean got to make it look ugly and win a lot of rounds early. And he did. In my opinion, he was up 3-1 after 4 rounds. So I had him with a pretty sizable lead, off top. But we got to give credit where credit is due, and Errol Spence fought back. The man made adjustments. And then Sean Porter made adjustments. It was back and forth. Instant classic. One of the greatest welterweight fights I've ever seen. I think most of you out there probably agree that it's one of the best welterweight fights we've ever seen. Congratulations to Errol Spence Jr., WBC, IBF Unified Champion. He deserves all the praises. I take nothing away from his victory, and regardless, Porter pushed him. I'm not surprised at all. I predicted that Spence would get the knockout, but I thought it would have been an accumulation of the body shots that ultimately caught up with Porter. But he showed he's a very durable fighter. He was in shape. He might have gassed a little bit in I think it was the 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever, 9th round. Something like that in the middle of that fight. But he got back. He got a second win. He kept coming at Errol Spence all night. Errol Spence was getting hit by a lot of shots that he ain't never, ever been hit with before. This is the most he's ever been hit, the most out of his comfort zone he looked. But at the end of the day, he still came out with the victory. And I think it's a clear victory. Yes, it was extremely close, and I'm not even mad with the split decision. But he won. Errol Spence won the fight. That knockdown, in my opinion, solidified that. Excellent fight. Oh, speaking of the knockdown, Sean Porter took a hell of a punch. And he got back up. He got back in Spence's face. And he finished strong. I'm very impressed with the work that Sean Porter did. I have never seen him like this before. It was amazing. And I can't sing his praises enough, because Sean Porter definitely deserves all the praises from his work that he did on Saturday night. Definitely worth the price of admission for the pay-per-view. I don't know if you guys ordered it, but I did. And I still order pay-per-views if they're worth it to me. And this fight was worth it, and it delivered. I can't say much more about it. Fight of the year. Errol Spence needs to get more respect as pound for pound. Put him up there high on the list. 1 or 2. He's got to be 1 or 2. A lot of people out there gonna say Lomachenko, Crawford, and look, Lomachenko is only put on this pedestal because he fights for Top Rank and they work with ESPN. Let's just be real here. Terrence Crawford deserves all the praises that he gets in potentially being the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Because let's remember, Terrence Crawford cleaned out the 140 division and he unified the entire division. And then he comes up to welterweight, and he still hasn't lost. Granted, he hasn't excuse me. He hasn't fought anybody, really. He beat Jeff Horn. Come on, really? Jeff Horn? He beat Amir Khan. We've all known that he has a weak chin, and everybody expected that fight to end with a knockout. And then I forget he's fighting with I forget the guy's name, but his nickname was Mean Machine. I think that's gonna be the next fight. I think that's his mandatory, so I think that's gonna be next. A lot of people are not happy about that fight. I mean, we want to see the big fights, and you know what? PBC is delivering those big fights. Errol Spence, Sean Porter definitely delivered, and I believe the next fight that's going to be made is going to deliver again. Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. I'm looking forward to this fight. This is a big fight, good fight to make, great fight to make actually. And PBC is really doing this little tournament, man, for the welterweight supremacy, and someone's gonna end up walking away with 3 belts in the next year or so from the PBC rankings, and they're gonna be the top guy in the world. I think Errol Spence should be recognized as the top man in the welterweight division right now, because he just beat the man with the best resume. Sean Porter has the best resume in the welterweight division because he's fought everybody. Danny Garcia has another solid resume. He's fought Keith Thurman. He fought Sean Porter. He looked great against Granados earlier in April of this year. No one's ever stopped Granados, and Danny Garcia did it in convincing fashion. He looked great, and he's a big name in the welterweight division. He gets a lot of hate, but he's a big name. He's up there in the rankings. He's got to be, you know. I don't know where you rank him, but he has to be in talk of the top 5. If he wins this fight against Errol Spence, it's gonna be a big if. But if he were to ever pull this off, then he's the man, like, in the division. Let's be real. A lot of people are gonna hate on him and say, "Oh, he has no chance. His footwork, this and that." Yes, Danny Garcia doesn't have the best footwork, but Errol Spence has shown whatever fight you want to fight, he's willing to go that route with you. He's willing to go that route, and you got to respect that. I respect the hell out of it. He fought a Sean Porter type of fight, and he beat Sean Porter at that fight, at his own game. He let Sean Porter dictated a lot of the pace of the fight. He controlled what he wanted to do. He controlled how the fight progressed, and Errol Spence continued to withstand the storm and make his adjustments. And over time, the accumulation of punches to the body especially, I think, is what helped with that knockdown late in the 11th round. Yes, it was a clean shot, but Errol Spence was working to the body of Porter a lot, so it was an amazing fight. Yeah, man, I'm just really excited with what PBC has been doing. They're killing it. Al Heyman's killing it right now. Nothing but big fights coming. I mean, damn, we haven't even talked about the potential huge fight for, Spence and Pacquiao, which could come after the Danny Garcia fight. If Spence is able to pull that off, I'm sure that's the next name for Spence to go fight. A lot of people want to act like he's ducking Crawford. Stop that. Crawford said it himself. Spence ain't ducking him. That fight is going to happen. It's just going to happen a little later than people want it to happen, because there's a lot of good and great fighters on the PBC side, and Spence plans on clearing it out. And so far, I mean, shoot, Danny Garcia's next on his list, I guess. I'm very much looking forward to it too. I always thought Danny Garcia had the best shot out of Thurman and Porter, them 3, to beat Spence, and that was simply because of his counter punching, and he has a strong left hook. Let's be honest. Sean Porter hit Errol Spence with a lot of clean shots. Danny Garcia hits harder than Sean Porter. Keith Thurman said it himself. Danny Garcia hits harder than Sean Porter. And Spence is there to be hit, as we saw on Saturday night. If you bring the fight to him, you can make some things happen. Now, it's what you do when the adjustments start to happen that matters and ultimately determines who's gonna win the fight. But Danny Garcia is gonna surprise a lot of you out there. Nobody thought Sean Porter had a shot, and I'm sure he shocked a lot of you. A lot of y'all gonna think Danny Garcia has zero chance, and I guarantee you, whether he walks out with that win or not, he is going to shock a lot of you with his performance. I'm very much looking forward to it. Errol Spence is now 26-0 with 21 knockouts, and it looks like him versus Danny Garcia could be next. So I just wanted to take my time and drop some thoughts on the Errol Spence Sean Porter fight, and then my early thoughts on Danny Garcia and Errol Spence. So until next time, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC hot takes, and coming soon when we get closer to the January 25th date for this pay-per-view fight. I'll do a breakdown of the fight and then give you my prediction then. But yeah, I just want to drop some thoughts on the early thoughts on this potential fight of going down. So man, the welterweight division is on fire. Errol Spence is on fire. He's going in for his third consecutive pay-per-view fight, and if he beats Danny Garcia, I mean, damn, he's well on his way to the mega fight that everybody wants to see with Terrence Crawford. So yeah, until next time, go ahead and comment, hate, debate, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it all. This has been Reason. Until next time, we're out.